Welcome back to Furry Trash, the podcast for furry spipers. I'm Rose Get in the Box, and welcome to season 7 of Furry Trash. Welcome to episode 2, I believe. This is going to be episode 3. Today I'm joined by Kafes, CoffeeCat. Hello, Kafes. Tell people who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Kafes, pronounced Kafes, as you said it correctly, which is very good. A lot of people say it wrong and does my head in. I am a lynx with a big fluffy tail who loves coffee, if that wasn't obvious before. My pronouns are she and they. I'm from the UK. Oh, that rhymes. I've been freelancing, doing my art and graphic design work since January this year, and I recently got this fursuit in August made by my friend at Jaws and Paws UK.
The suit is incredible, by the way. So I'm just looking at it and I'm taking all the details in. People who are listening on Spotify and can't see it, describe your persona and how they look like. What they look like, how they look like. Yeah.
Well, she's a lynx, but I thought lynx have little nubby tails, so I thought I want to give her a big tail because I prefer big tails. And I thought, well, her dad was a snow leopard, so I thought, there you go, there's the backstory for that. I thought I wanted to go with the lynx design because they remind me of the Khajiit in Skyrim. I love how fluffy they are and they have the piercings and whatnot. And also I have the same piercings IRL. So I thought I've got a septum piercing, but I thought Kafes wouldn't look right with the septum piercing, so I left that one out. But yeah, my name Kafes means coffee in Greek, as I'm half Greek myself. So I wanted a character that I can relate to in animal form because I love cats and of course coffee, which I haven't said that enough yet. I haven't actually had many today either.
Also, I'm just noticing, so Kafes and Kyra, my character, it's funny you mentioned that you've got a septum piercing and Kafes doesn't. Kyra has got a septum piercing, I don't, so it's funny how we match on that front. So how did you get into the furry fandom?
Well, I officially discovered it around 2017, but I knew furries were a thing and all that, but I never really liked it as much. But I still, when I was a kid, I still used to draw my own anthro animals, but I didn't actually know what furries were. It's a bit weird because when you're a kid, you have more of a crazy imagination. I drew like wolves, dragons, and whatever. I've made up this weird reindeer character called Rugoth, which is like an anti-Rudolph. He's Rudolph with a black nose, and I've got a song for him and everything. But yeah, he's a bit neglected, poor bloke. But I've always liked stuff like Tom and Jerry and The Lion King. I think that's where we all start off, really, because I'm a 90s kid. So so I think it just blew up more around 2017 because I don't know. I just I don't even know how I got to know what the furry fandom was. I just happened to find it one day and thought, oh, it's a thing and people dress up as these. And I never used to like the fursuits because I used to think they were like not as cute as the drawings, but then I love them now. So it just kind of happened.
And seeing your fursuit react it's so cool because I'm watching her head move and the eyes, and I'm like, this is adorable. I also love the little teeth, the little fangs.
Oh yeah, her little fangs.
Oh my gosh, they are adorable. It's so cool how they match as well and blend with your background. So if people, again, like I said, listening on Spotify, can't see what's going on, describe your background because I'm like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Well, I'm in the living room at the moment, which is a bit more say formal, but our house is pretty much Halloween 24/7. So you've got bats, you've got cats, you've got a Kafes shrine in the bedroom. There might be an odd Kafes picture behind me. I mean, the one behind me on that side, on my right, is one of my favorite artists, Nicole, or Knick-Knack, which is a signed print by her because I love her. I think I had some candles lit, but they blew out. But I thought it's best that they blew out because this is probably very flammable. We don't want to go into flames. But yeah, our house is always spooky, really. But that's just how I like it.
And one thing that you've decorated your kitchen with is a thing called a fridge. It's the combination of the word fridge and fur, and it's covered in a plethora of furry pictures. Who has been your most, I guess, favorite furry to meet at a fur meet?
Oh, blimey. Put me on the spot there. I I've always wanted to meet Shani Cat or Shani Tabby Cat, if you've heard of her. Met her at London Fairs last month in October. Recording this. She's really nice, she's really lovely and pretty hyper like me. So it was nice to chill out with her at London and got a few photos. She's got 2 suits, so I thought that's really cool. So it's nice to see both of those in person.
I was going to say in the flesh there, but then I remembered furry. So,
Well, I did see her in the flesh as well. So like it's nice to see people's suit and their face. I know some people don't like that, but I always think it's nice to put a face to the, the person, or should I say person. So I won't be cringe, don't worry.
it's actually because it's quite funny. I'm recording out of suit and you're recording in suit. And one thing I get a lot is, why don't I record the podcast in suit? Simply because when I'm talking, you get to see my reaction to things as opposed to how my character would react. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're seeing my face move, you're seeing,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like me, I'm just smiling all the time. I mean, I try and smile all the time in real life, but I tend to look like Wednesday when she's trying to smile.
So you mentioned London first there. You're also really a big part of the Confuzzled Art team. What is that like and what does it involve?
I started that role this year as well, around the end of August. It's all very new to me, but I have done graphic design for about 6 years now. But obviously getting to terms with something new, with the rules, the branding, it's all, you have to really not get into it. You have to get, understand it a lot more. And I feel a lot more comfortable now. It's been, hang on, we're in November now. I understand the branding a lot more now. So I've been designing the lanyards and the pronoun badges, which is very exciting because it'll be lovely to see people wearing them at the event. And I know near the time of the event, because at the moment it's pretty quiet with work, but I know near the time it'll probably get a lot more stressful and busier, but it'll definitely be rewarding afterwards.
So obviously with Confuzzled, you started in the art team. Work backwards, how did you kind of get into anthro art and furry art itself?
um I I always prefer drawing animals. I've never really liked drawing humans. I've tried to draw like me several times, like a portrait of me, like my actual me person, not Kafes. And I never liked the style. And I tried to get a style year after year, and I just thought, I don't like this. And again, in 2017, I got into the furry art, and I thought trying to draw cats, and I could never draw a wolf or a cat. And I actually drew wolves quite a lot. And I just got better drawing them. And then the furry fandom happened. And I thought, oh, I really like cats and I want this really cool cat character now. And going to Birmingham Furs, I first went in 2018 in July. And I just got loads of inspiration from there. I thought, I'm going to design a character and tried to make like some tabby cat or black cat. I didn't like it. And then I made Kafes, and I've just got a lot comfortable drawing animals now, and I just literally can't draw humans. Well, I can, but I just rather not because animals are better.
I will agree. My whole tagline is I talk to animal people on the internet, so I can agree. Animals always ruled. So outside of the furry fandom, you also have a massive enthusiasm for bees. Can you give us one random bee fact?
Well, one of them is never give them sugar water unless you really have to. Honeybees, bumblebees, solitary bees, there's all kinds of species of bees. But come spring, if you see a bee struggling on the floor, as I do when I'm jogging, I go up to it and I let it climb onto my hand and I talk to it in the process. And you plunk it on a nearby bee-friendly flower, such as lavender, dandelion, or anything. They like bright things because they see in ultraviolet. They're practically seeing in rave vision, as I say. And they'll be a lot happier doing that. And another thing is, I won't play with bee facts too much because I will tangent for ages on them. Is bees will only sting you if they really have to. Only females can sting honeybees. They have a barbed stinger, so they'd rather not sting you, because if their stinger goes into your flesh, their body rips in half, so it's useless to them if they sacrifice their life just to sting you. They only really do that if you are more by their hive, because when they're out and about, they couldn't really care less, so you can just watch them as you do. Bumblebees can repeatedly sting, but again, they're harmless little things. They wouldn't do anything. I don't think solitary bees can sting, but I am working on a video at the moment for myself, making a bee video, so everyone can learn.
I did not know that. I always thought like bees just, to be honest, it's kind of like grass. I didn't know that many types of grass until this year, like as in actual outside growing grass. And like when I look at bees, I'm like, I have never seen something like that before.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't just do that.
Yes.
Yes, I'm also chuffed that, as if you saw, that Confuzzled's charity for next year is the Bumblebee Conservation Trust. I did suggest it to them last year or so, but other people could have also suggested it. I don't know. But being staff, we got an input on it, so I was obviously voting for that. But the fact that other people obviously voted for it as well, and there were loads of other animal charities, so it's like the fact that they picked the bee one, it means the world to me because I love them. I'm a member of the Bumblebee Conservation Trust, so they'll probably know me when I get there and be like, oh no, it's her. I'll be talking to them the whole convention and miss the whole convention talking to them. That is what will happen.
What did you call it? The Bumblebee Conserve? What's the thing called?
Bumblebee Conservation Trust. I can send you a link if you like.
What is that? I've never heard of that before. Please tell me about it.
Well, it's actually it's a UK Bumblebee Conservation Trust. It's the only bumblebee charity in the UK, I think. But yeah, they just basically teach you about bumblebees and what to do and how to care for them. And I'm still in the process of making a little nest for them for the spring, so they can the queen can nest her eggs in there for the next following season. And they basically teach you all the different species, because there's hundreds of different species of bumblebee. It's not just a bumblebee. You've got, I mean, I could go through them if you want. You've got the common ones like the buff-tail bumblebee, the white-tail bumblebee, the red-tail bumblebee, tree bumblebee, early bumblebee, common carder bee. There's loads. There are loads.
There are so many bees.
That's only a few. The buff-tail is my favorite because the word's cute, and it's just they got a buff colored bum, as I call it. It's a tail, but I call it a bum because bums are cuter.
So with all this bee knowledge, why did you choose a lynx cat over, say, a bee persona or like a bee themed character?
Well, that's actually funny you should say that, because I mean, I didn't like bees as much back then when I made Kafes. So I made another bee character a year or so ago called Melly, which is Greek for honey. Melissa also means bee in Greek as well. And it's also a Greek nymph from the Greek mythology. I didn't actually know that. I was just like, I want to call her something that's not obvious. So I thought, oh, that sounds good as well, because Kafes is Greek too. But yeah, she's a little dainty hybrid of a buff tail, a honeybee, and a solitary bee. And I would like a suit of her, to be honest, but I'm not sure if she would look right, because I've seen a Bumblebee fursuit and it is adorable, but I'm not sure if she'd look right as one. But again, she's probably another persona that I've neglected, so I probably need to share her more.
So speaking of personas, you mentioned Kafes is Greek for coffee. Where did your love for coffee come from?
To be honest, I didn't actually used to like coffee. I used to hate the stuff until I went to Greece one year and I tried the cold frappes they have. And I thought, this is actually quite nice. This was 2015. And I just happened to start drinking coffee a bit more. And as my jobs changed, I started to drink coffee. So I thought, oh, it's caffeine, it's not very nice tasting, but I'll drink it. And I think I just got addicted to it. But I have actually had to lessen my intake lately because I was getting terrible withdrawal headaches over the weekends. I don't drink as much coffee over the weekend. I used to have about 5 cups a day. God knows how I slept. I used to sleep, but now I have about 2 to 3 a day, in between water as well. But then it was the weekend I used to really struggle. So I don't know. I reckon I just got a little bit addicted to it, and my brain was just like, give me more of this caffeine.
So you're kind of like me and tea then, because I drink tea until the cows come home. And I drink a particular brand of tea because I'm from a particular county and we're very, very proud of our tea. So I understand the feeling of like having to have at least 2 cups of tea a day, because like I have one in the morning when I'm going to college, and then I might have one in the evening when I'm editing or like looking at YouTube videos or something. And then during the weekends, I'm like, why am I not drinking tea? Where's the tea time?
I actually do like tea as well. I try and drink it more than coffee lately, but really I actually have tea flavored milk, because you drink the tea bag and that's it. I don't want strong tea. Coffee's different, but with tea it's got to be very, very weak. I might as well have warm milk. But I've used to like warm milk as a kid, so I think that's probably where it's just developed.
And it's brewed from there, shall we say?
Yes, literally.
Well, Kafes, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really, really do appreciate it. You've been the absolute bee's knees. Yes, I have so many bee puns ready to go.
I've heard it all.
Where can people find you online?
I have my Instagram and Twitter is Kafes CoffeeCat. I've also got a YouTube channel with the same name. I've got my Etsy shop. Can I mention that? And I've also recently launched a Patreon, which is all under the same name, Kafes CoffeeCat. I'm sure you'll find it if you go on my socials.
I'm going to have all those links below in the description. Again, like I said, Kafes, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been super appreciated. If you want to follow the show online, our Instagram is furry.trashpod, Twitter is ftrashpod. If you're watching on YouTube, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me and makes me really happy. And thank you. And Kafes, thank you so much for coming on the show. And thank you for tuning in to Furry Trash. Bye-bye.
Thank you.